The riddle is this: how can there be so many gods, yet only one God? It's a paradox that has sat on my mind most of my life. On one hand, there are countless deities: Zeus, Shiva, Odin, Jesus, each with their own names, their own stories, their own powers. On the other hand, there is this idea of a single creator, an infinite source, the great I am, beyond all names, beyond all forms. So, how do we reconcile that? Stay with me because this question might just change the way you see the divine and divinity forever. What if I told you that every god you ever heard of is real? Not just metaphorically real, not just mythologically, but truly real. The question is, how many of them are there? Earthlings have always told stories of beings greater than ourselves. I've seen this truth carved into stone structures, cathedrals, pyramids, caves, and temples scattered across every corner of the world. Every culture, no matter how ancient or remote, has left behind records of gods, of guides, and of forces beyond the human. Some came as creators, some came as destroyers, some as teachers, some as healers, some as messengers. Their names change, you know, Allah, Yahweh, Zeus, Krishna, Shiva, Odin, Jesus, but the pattern remains. Again and again, humans, earthlings, meet the divine and give it a face, a name, a story. Jesus is a god, Shiva is a god, Zeus is a god, Osiris is a god, Odin is a god. These names echo across time, across continents, across cultures. They have been worshiped, they have been feared, they have been loved, they have been followed. But what if they aren't what we think? What if these gods are more like higher beings, ascended masters, cosmic teachers, or interdimensional guides meant to help us earthlings? We are in the third dimension. The third dimension is heavy with density and amnesia. We're in a kind of an amnesia race, which is a different topic for another day. Countless ancient texts and even modern science suggest that there are many higher dimensions than ours. We're in the third dimension. It's kind of low on the spectrum of dimensions. Higher dimensions vibrate at a higher frequency, closer to the divine. That ultimate source, the great I am, vibrates at the highest frequency at all. So perhaps these beings of a higher dimension are more tuned to that divine light. They carry less density, more clarity, and a deeper remembrance of unity, right? Because at the highest level, everything, there's this concept of unity, of oneness. In this view, Earth's third dimension is like a lower floor of a vast cosmic school full of contrast, of challenge, of growth. But it is also laced with amnesia. We forget who we are. We forget our connection to that source, that divine source. We forget that we are divine students, not just like biological beings, higher beings, gods, angels, ascendant teachers, whatever you want to call them, might be kind of like the upperclassmen of an infinite classroom. Not like better. I don't think it works like that. Just maybe further along in helping us remember. And maybe that's why every culture has stories of divine visitors and miracle workers and ascended teachers, like every culture. They're not just legends. They point to a deeper truth. We're not alone in this classroom. Help is always available. Here's something fascinating. Many of these gods were once human, or at least they walked among humans. Jesus was born in a manger and died on the cross. Buddha was a prince who left everything to sit beneath a tree. Hercules endured all these trials. Osiris was murdered and dismembered and reborn. These stories suggest that divinity isn't a fixed identity. It's a state of being, a frequency, and you can change your frequency. I want you to really think about what I just said right there. And here's another point. Many gods appear again and again under different names. Zeus of Greece is Jupiter of Rome. Hermes, who showed up big time for me in a spiritual thing, is Mercury, who is also Thoth of Egypt, who is also Nabu of Mesopotamia. Isis of Egypt becomes Astarte in Phoenicia, Aphrodite in Greece, and Venus in Rome. Even Jesus and Krishna stories have a lot of similarities: miraculous births, divine incarnations. They were both miracle workers. It's as if humanity keeps meeting the same beings and just translates them in their own languages and in cultures. For example, take Angel Gabriel. He is most famously currently known as the one that announces Jesus' birth to Mary, right? But Gabriel appears everywhere throughout earthling history. I mean, this guy shows up everywhere in Judaism and Islam and mystical traditions, and countless personal stories of people just like you and me who claim to have encountered a very large being not of this world who seems to call himself Gabriel. So maybe these weren't just myths. Maybe these were guides or higher dimensional beings, ascended teachers, someone closer to the ultimate source helping humanity grow. And this all means that divinity is layered. At the most expansive level, divinity is source, the great I am, infinite, formless, beyond name, beyond image, pure beingness. But as that light flows downward into creation, it refracts like a light through a prism, one beam, but many colors. Each layer carries a different purpose, a different frequency, a different lesson, like God remembering that it's God. That's why there's so many gods, yet only one God. The great I am, source creator, infinite, the one that breathes through everything and everyone. All these other gods are rays of light from that single source, separate yet one, many yet one. So the question isn't which one of these gods is real. The question is, how do you express your divinity? Because every story of a god, yeah, every miracle, every myth has been trying to remind us we are not separate. We are expressions of the source. We are not just students in the classroom, we are also becoming the teachers. Many gods, one God. Countless drops, one ocean. All of it, and you, part of the great I am. Have a good week.